In this video, I'll show you 3 ways of creating a grid of photo boxes, 2 very simple ones and 1 more complex used for placing mugshots or grad photos. So the basic one is if I have one photo box, all I need to do is hold down my Alt key, drag that box over, then use my up arrow and my right arrow to make more pictures in that grid, and then make sure they don't overlap and release, and I get a grid of boxes, and now I can drag photos and drop them into that grid of boxes. The other way works very similar is if I go to my folder of photos first and select a bunch of photos, drag them over, it loads up my cursor, and then again I can drag open the box and I can drag over the entire area where I want the photos to go, and again use my up arrows and my right arrows to create a set of boxes, and when I let go, it automatically places all those photos in that grid already. Very simple way of creating all those photos. Now, the more complex one, it actually includes a data merge. So that's if I have something like this where I want the photo and let's say the name underneath for a grad picture. Now, for that to work, there are 2 things that are needed. One is you need a spreadsheet that has the information in it in column format. So in this case, I have the caption column. I have the name of the files in this column. Don't really need this. What you really need is this column here, which starts with an @ symbol, and that indicates to InDesign that it's a path to a photo. And then the red part that I have here is the path where my photo is located, followed by the name of the actual file. So you can see as it goes down the list, those are my file names. So once I have that file saved, then I load that in into my file. So for that, I need a blank new document. So I would create a photo box. Let's say photo box, and I would also create a text box. Here we go. So we got those 2. And then I go into my data merge tool. So if I don't have that, go Window Data Merge, and then click in here, and I'm going to select the data source, and that's my merge list. I'm going to select that. And now it shows up, and you see those fields that I had in that field, the photo path, the name, and the caption. So I'm going to select my text box, and I'm going to call that caption, and I'm going to select my photo box and say photo path. And now if I click on preview, you can see that first photo with the caption underneath. I can click through them and I can see all of them. So that's the first part of this tool. Now, once you go into the placement, you click on the merge up here, the merge document, and then it gives you a dialog box. And on here, what you need to do is you need to make sure that the records per documents page is set to multiple, so it doesn't just do 1 per page. Then in the multiple record layout, you can click on and see what spacing you wanted. So I have set this to 0p3 spacing between the columns. And then I can look at my preview multiple record layout, and it will give me a preview of what that page looks like. So that's not bad. For things like grad pages, you might want to get a little bit more fancy. So I'm going to press cancel in here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to take my caption. I'm going to actually put it on top of my photo. I will give it a white fill, and I will make sure this is matches the photo box. I will take the text and I will center it. And with that box selected, I'm going to go into my effects and make sure that my fill opacity is about 50%. That will allow me to see through the text box at the photo. So now again, if I go to my data merge and I do my preview, you can see how I have my text on top of the photo. Again, I'm going to go back to my merge. I'm going to go multiple record layout. So that's all good. I can go preview multiples, and it shows me how it's laid out. Now, you notice that the photos under options, they are set to fill the frames proportionately. And you can choose options in here. You can also center them in the frame and so on. Right? And that will allow you to create an entire set of grad pages or mugshots all at once. So if I go out and I place this, I go, and it gives you a warning if there's any problem with text, but here I've got a grid so you can see how quick it is to make an entire page of grad photos or grad mugs.